All right, welcome. Have you ever wondered how every single app on your phone just magically talks to the internet? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the web's most fundamental ideas, not with a bunch of confusing code, but with a simple story about a restaurant. So go ahead and grab a seat. Your table is ready.
So, let's imagine a place called the Digital Diner. In this pretty special restaurant, the chef is also the server. That's the back-end system, the place holding all the data. The customers, well, that's us. It's the apps on your phone or the websites you visit. And the menu, that's the key to everything. That is the REST API.
So let's step inside. Welcome to the Digital Diner. Here, you're not ordering food, you're ordering data. And just like any good restaurant, there has to be a really clear, easy way for you, the customer, to tell the kitchen exactly what you want. And that's really all a REST API is. Think of it as a standardized menu. It's just a set of rules that make sure every customer, whether it's an app on your phone or a big website, knows exactly how to place an order, what they're allowed to ask for, and what they'll get back. It just keeps the whole conversation between the app and the server clean and totally predictable. Okay, so how do you actually place an order in this digital restaurant? Well, the menu is built around just a few core actions, or methods, that pretty much cover everything you'd ever need to do. Now, this is where it all starts to click. Think of it like this. Get is just asking to see something, like the menu. Post is when you're creating a brand new order. Put or patch is for changing an order you've already made. And delete is, well, it's for canceling it. Let's dive into what each of these really means. First up, we've got get. This is by far the most common request. It's basically you asking the kitchen, hey, can I see today's specials or what's on the menu? You're just looking for information. Every single time you load a web page or pull down to refresh your newsfeed, you're sending a GET request. You're not changing a thing, you're just looking. Next is POST. This is your order form. You use a POST request whenever you want to create something brand new. So think about signing up for an account, or writing a new email, or posting that awesome photo to Instagram. You're sending brand new information to the kitchen to be created and saved. But what if you've already ordered and you want to change something? Well, that's where put and patch come into play. It's like telling your server, hey, can you add extra cheese to that pizza I ordered? You're not creating a whole new pizza, you're just updating the one you already have. This is exactly what happens when you edit your profile info or make a change to a document. And finally, we have the simplest one of all, delete. And yeah, this one is exactly what it sounds like. It's you telling the kitchen, you know what? Never mind, cancel my order. So when you delete an email or a photo or a social media post, you're sending a delete request to the server, asking it to get rid of that piece of data for good. Okay, so we've got the individual orders down, but how do they all work together in the real world? Let's follow a complete customer journey. We'll follow a customer named Alex, who's trying to order a pizza online. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates the whole process. Alex starts with a GET request to just see the menu, then a POST to add a new pizza to the cart. They use patch to modify it with extra cheese, then another POST to finalize the whole order. They use GET again to check on the order status, and then they change their mind and use delete to cancel the whole thing. See that? Each step is its own clean, specific conversation with the kitchen. Now, you might be thinking this could all get pretty chaotic, right? Well, for this entire system to work without falling apart, the Digital Diner has a few golden rules. These principles are what make this whole REST thing so reliable and so efficient. It really comes down to this. First, the kitchen is stateless, which just means it doesn't remember you from one order to the next. Every request is treated as brand new. Second, everyone uses the same universal menu format, so there's never any confusion. Third, the kitchen and the waitstaff, so the client and the server, have totally separate jobs. And finally, there's a today's special sign, which in the tech world we call caching, that saves the kitchen from having to answer the same popular questions over and over again. So, why does any of this actually matter to you? Well, because whether you realize it or not, you are a customer in this digital diner. You're placing these exact kinds of orders hundreds, maybe thousands of times a day. Seriously, have you ever just stopped for a second to think about what's actually happening under the hood when you're just scrolling through your phone? Because every single time you pull down to refresh your social media feed, your app is sending a GET request to the server, saying, hey, show me the latest specials.
And that amazing photo you just uploaded to your profile? Yep, that's a post request. You're sending a brand new order to the kitchen.
Or what about when you're cleaning out your inbox, getting rid of all that old junk mail?
You guessed it. That is a delete request, telling the server to cancel that order permanently.
These simple actions, get, post, put, delete, they're not just some techie jargon. They are the invisible conversations that are happening all around us all the time. They really are the universal language that lets every app, every website, and every device communicate with each other seamlessly.
So the next time you use an app, just remember the digital diner. Because in the grand restaurant of the internet, we're all just having conversations, one simple, elegant order at a time. Thanks so much for joining me.